I never imagined I'd state this, but Prince Harry just faced a type of global embarrassment that could have shattered lesser royals. And I'm not overstating this, is unprecedented humiliation reportedly. And yes, this is what sources are alleging. Harry was flat-out barred entry into China. Not postponed, not rerouted, denied entry entirely. The Duke of Sussex lands all smiles, clutching papers surrounded by his ever-loyal entourage. Travelyst briefings in hand, anticipating a smooth entry and a prominent debut for his eco-friendly travel initiative at the Envision 2025 conference, except it didn't occur. Instead, Chinese border officials allegedly stared him down in the face and said, "You're not getting in."
When the stakes are this high, doesn't it make more sense to hear our story from us?
Oh, shut up. What do you mean the stakes are this high? Who do you think you are? Other than a latte-munching imbecile living in luxury in California while the rest of the world's a cost of living crisis, moaning and whining about an institution which gave you the titles on which you now trade millions of dollars. What are you talking about? What state?
No justification the world could accept. No behind-the-scenes deal to rescue it. Just cold bureaucratic rejection. And for someone like Harry used to diplomatic immunity, private exits, and automatic deference, this wasn't just a security hiccup. This was a statement. And it wasn't just Harry who got the statement. Meghan Markle, allegedly set to join him the very next day, was reportedly livid. Her team was already organizing the press angles. The outfit switches, the camera-ready moments in front of Chinese dignitaries. The whole trip was designed as a soft power PR triumph, a way to shift the narrative and reintroduce themselves as global change makers instead.
Brat, to be honest, and very, very entitled.
The hypocrisy is beyond anything I've ever seen.
Let's chat about Meghan Markle. She couldn't be more cringe if she tried.
The media exploded with disbelief. Meghan allegedly spiraled. Royal insiders were chuckling behind closed doors, and China didn't even blink, because when a global superpower opts to shut the door on a former royal, they don't just do it to make a point, they do it to own the story. Let's dissect what truly happened, and why this could be the most humiliating public moment of Meghan and Harry's post-royal lives. Imagine this: Prince Harry steps off a long-haul flight into Shanghai Puang International Airport. He's not in disguise, he's not low profile, he's expecting the full high-level treatment, the Envision 2025 Summit is in full swing. He's slated to speak on behalf of Travelyst, his sustainable travel brand, in front of executives, government officials, and climate innovators. This was the kind of platform Harry thrives on, a spotlight moment meant to reaffirm his status not just as a royal but as a relevant global leader, except that moment never arrives because, according to multiple sources, Harry never gets past immigration. Some insiders claim Chinese customs flagged his visa as a mismatch.
I would love reconciliation with my family. I don't know how much longer my father has. He won't speak to me because of this security stuff. But it would be nice to reconcile. If they don't want that, that's entirely up to them.
Rumors circulate that he tried to enter on a tourist visa, which doesn't suffice when you're about to address a high-level business conference. Others speculate that Harry assumed diplomatic privileges would be granted to him. But here's the harsh reality. He's not a working royal anymore. No title, no immunity, no automatic pass. And the Chinese government, they don't mess around. Harry was reportedly placed in a private holding lounge VIP, but make it humiliating, and where he lingered for hours, according to whispers. He was served tea and told to stay calm while the situation was assessed. But we all know what that means. He was being quietly sidelined while Beijing decided whether he was worth the trouble. And their verdict: he wasn't. After hours of limbo, he was allegedly informed, not by diplomats, not by event hosts, but by customs officials, that he would need to return home. Entry barred, no appeals. No negotiation. Worse yet, there were no cameras, no press, no handlers to spin the narrative.
We immediately went into the trenches together.
Yeah.
Just a plane full of first-class passengers who reportedly watched the Duke of Sussex be turned around like a baffled tourist. For a man used to landing in foreign nations, with the red carpet already unrolled, that kind of silent rejection must have struck harder than any headline. And the next person to feel the impact, Meghan. The moment Meghan got the call, allegedly, all hell broke loose. Sources close to the couple claimed Meghan was absolutely furious, not just upset, livid, screaming on calls, firing off emails, allegedly demanding to know who failed to secure the right clearance, who didn't vet this, who didn't double-check the paperwork. She was reportedly blaming the travel team, the booking agency, even staff at the conference for humiliating them on the world stage, and honestly, I think she had every reason to panic. She was allegedly scheduled to arrive the next day on a private jet out of LAX. The itinerary had her stepping off the plane, posing for photos, shaking hands with Chinese environmental leaders and standing beside Harry as a global power couple for the planet. This wasn't just about exposure, and this was meant to be their redemption arc after the Spotify breakup, the Netflix rebrand, and all the ongoing royal tension. This was their big reset button. Instead, that button shattered on the tarmac. Her stylists were already prepping outfit changes. PR reps were negotiating soft focus media coverage. Paparazzi in Asia had been tipped off to expect their arrival, all of it gone in a flash. And when news started trickling through the media that Harry had been barred entry into China, the tone shifted fast. Meghan's team allegedly went silent. No statements, no corrections, no redirection. And when she was spotted by photographers later that afternoon leaving an LA compound, something looked different. Her hair was pulled back. Her jaw was clenched. Her face, shielded by oversized sunglasses, looked tense. The kind of tense that says, I just spent 4 hours on the phone trying to undo a disaster that's already global. But here's what made it worse. It wasn't just the images. It was the complete silence from their inner circle. No spin, no social media posts, no denial. Which, let's be honest, kind of confirmed everything. Now, let's be real. China doesn't do mistakes. On the world stage, if a former royal is denied access, there's a reason. And the rumor mill kicked into overdrive. Some speculated this was retaliation for Harry's past political digs. He's made not-so-subtle remarks about authoritarianism and surveillance. Comments that didn't sit well with certain global powers. The Chinese government has a long memory and even longer leverage. And according to some analysts, barring Harry entry may have been calculated. It wasn't about Harry the man, it was about Harry the symbol. A Western figure arriving to speak on sustainability, a concept China is very publicly trying to dominate the narrative around. Letting him speak could have been seen as handing over cultural capital, so instead deny him the platform. Strip him of that power, send him packing. Now let's talk fallout, because this wasn't just about ego, it was about business. Travelyst, Harry's much-hyped sustainable travel initiative, was banking on this conference. The Envision 2025 summit was supposed to launch its new Asia-Pacific roadmap. They had visual content planned. Climate influencers were already tweeting pre-rollout hashtags. Sponsors like EcoAir, Greenport, and Root were allegedly preparing press releases. But when Harry was barred entry, it all collapsed quietly, painfully, and instantly. Travelyst team had to withdraw from the conference. Chinese delegates reportedly replaced Harry's keynote with a panel on domestic innovation, effectively erasing his name from the itinerary sponsors. Silent Twitter, brutal, and Travelyst on life support. You'd think Buckingham Palace would issue a statement, offer support, defend Harry's dignity. Nope. Palace insiders allegedly said nothing, not a word. Some even speculated that courtiers were secretly pleased after years of watching Harry and Meghan lob criticism from across the ocean. This might have felt to some like divine retribution. Worse, there are rumors a senior aide was overheard calling it a natural consequence of unauthorized diplomacy, which basically translates to, you're not a working royal anymore, stop acting like one. And while King Charles continued his Canada's state visit, smiling alongside dignitaries and delivering historic speeches, his son was on a return flight home with nothing but red tape and humiliation in his carry-on. The Chinese press didn't ignore it. They didn't scream about it either. They did something worse. They mocked him quietly. Systematically, brilliantly, state-linked newspapers published vague stories about unauthorized high-profile visitors being turned away at customs. Social media, especially platforms like Weibo and Bilibili, lit up with memes of a perplexed Harry standing outside an airport gate. Videos surfaced parodying a Western prince trying to lecture China. Meghan even became the subject of satirical skits, with one viral post captioned "Duchess of Denied." It was subtle but cutting, and make no mistake, it was intentional. China sent a message to its people: we control the global stage. Even royals don't get a free pass. Now this is where things take a sharp turn, because back in Hollywood, executives were watching closely. Netflix, Spotify, Archewell backers. All of them were on edge. Why? Because being rejected by China isn't just embarrassing, it's bad for business. China is a massive entertainment market. One public slip-up can kill a deal. And when your entire brand hinges on global relevance, being shut out of the second largest economy on Earth is kind of a problem. Rumors are already circulating that certain production execs want distance from the couple moving forward. One report even claimed that Meghan's Southeast Asia project was quietly shelved after this. That's the ripple effect of global rejection. Your influence shrinks. Your brand gets smaller, and Hollywood, it never forgets who embarrassed them on the world stage. So where does this leave Meghan and Harry? Professionally, they're in a tailspin. They wanted global influence, and instead they got a cold international rebuff. They wanted a redemption arc, and instead they got humiliated by a border guard with a clipboard. Travelyst is shaken. Archewell's backers are allegedly reassessing strategy. Their media deals are under review, and their public image, the one they worked so hard to craft, has taken a hit that might never fully recover. And Meghan insiders say she's pulling back from international travel. Some believe she's wary of further rejections, or at least the headlines that would follow. She's always been strategic, but now the chessboard looks emptier than ever. Prince Harry being barred entry to China is more than a travel mishap. It's a global power play. It's a cultural slap. It's a stark reminder that not everyone bends for royalty, especially royalty that left the palace behind. And for Meghan and Harry, this isn't just a scandal, this is a wake-up call, because in the game of global influence, you don't get to make the rules. Just because you have a title, you have to play them or get played, and this time they got played.